Probably about...
All right, we're back out on a nice, deep, clear lake in Wisconsin doing some slip bobbering and some jigging. Got some bobbers out. We're just on a real steep drop off on a rock pile. We're putting out suckers and crawlers for muskies, bass, and walleyes, and maybe pike, but I don't think there's too many pike in here. But yeah, we're gonna see what happens. Got 4 bobbers out with some live bait, and then we're gonna do some jigging on this steep drop off, and I think we're gonna stick a couple fish here, so stay tuned. First fish of the day. Oh, it's a little largemouth. Here, I'll just take it. Oh. First fish of the day, probably about a 14-inch largemouth on the jerk minnow. Hopefully first of many. Not exactly the species we're looking for, but there's no such thing as a bad fish. We'll take them all. Hoping for some more smallmouth, some bigger ones, some walleyes, and some muskies. So stay tuned. I think we're gonna get on some fish today. First fish on the bobber. Oh, I saw gold. I don't know if you'll. Here, let me get this out. First fish on the worm, or first fish on the bobber. I think, yep, smallmouth. I think. Not very, yeah, it's a smallmouth. Oh shit. That's the bass we're looking for. Not a giant, but there is big ones in this lake. Probably about 13 inches. There we go.
Thick fish though, eh?
Yeah, no, it's a nice fish. We'll take them. No fish is a bad fish. We're gonna get a couple more yet this morning. Gonna get this guy back. Just on a nice drop off on this rock pile, a clear lake. Floating bobbers. I got a big sucker out there, probably in 15 feet of water. Oh yeah, there's my bobber. Scared me for a second. And then we got another sucker here in probably about 6 feet of water. So then we got crawlers up top on the reef, and then we're jigging. So I like to have suckers at different depths, because at the muskies, if they're cruising, you know, deep on the edge, we got a sucker up there or out there. And then if the muskies are cruising up on this reef, we got a sucker here. So it's nice to have bobbers at different depths to see where the fish are. 2 fish into the day, and hopefully get a couple more. Second fish on the bobber. I think it's a tiny little smallmouth. Yep. Brody had one on just a piece of crawler about this big. I put out a little piece of crawler. I mean, granted, this isn't a big smallmouth, but there's the size of the crawler I put out. It was out for 30 seconds and it got hit. So if they're biting on something, switch up your rods, change what you're doing, and you'll catch some fish. Fish on the top water. What is it? Probably a smallmouth. Some kind of bass. Oh yeah. I think it's a smallmouth. Hey, any top water bite's a good bite. Yeah, he's digging now. Hair smaller than that first one, or do you think?
Maybe a little bit, man. Like the same. He's beat up.
Yeah, he's a little beat up. He's thin. Probably looks about 14 inches again, but a little thinner this time. You can tell there's muskies in this lake right there. All right, there he is. Get him back. Do I get a measurement on him or no? Nah, he's 14. About, who cares if he's an inch or two less. There he goes. All right, we're wrapping it up now. The bite today was real heavy early. We got out here around 5:50 maybe. And it was pretty good. Pretty much as soon as we got here, I got that largemouth, and then we were catching fish for maybe an hour, and then it shut off. I honestly would have liked to get out here 20 minutes earlier, right as the sun was coming up, or a little before the sun was coming up. On these big, deep, clear lakes, sometimes the bite is pretty concentrated right as the sun's coming up and right as it's going down, especially when it's pressured like this one. It's tough to get them to bite midday. So we're going to be wrapping it up here. Live bait definitely helped us out today. like I say, if we were just casting, we would have had 1 smallmouth and 1 largemouth. With the live bait, we ended up catching 3 or 4 more other smallmouth, a couple little ones, but that's all right. One key that I would say, one of the key factors today would have been, is change up what you're doing. Brody had a small piece of worm out, and I had a big one. And as soon as he caught that one on the small piece, I changed my big piece, and I caught 2 within 15 minutes. So if we had just had big worms out the whole time and not, changed up what we were doing, we wouldn't have caught any of those fish. So, put your baits at different depths, put out different baits, different presentations, even do like different cadences with, how you're retrieving your bait that you're casting. Just keep changing it up till you figure it out. We're just on this rock pile on a steep drop off, and that seems to be, where you're going to find some fish this time of year. They're out deep, but they still come up shallow to feed. So we're on the drop off. It's deep behind us, shallow rocks up in front of us. So just get on the transitions, put out some live bait, mix up what you're doing, and you should catch some fish. All right, if you like this video, please hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.